I used to do lots of things.
I used to do things and I'd say things and Jesus, I was evil. Take things and break things and Jesus, I was evil. I never shook, baby.
Oh yeah,
Be up and running.
yeah.
All right. Want to introduce the show?
How do you do it?
It's fucking everything around here, man. I'm just kidding. All right, everyone. Welcome to episode 29.
30. Oh yeah, no,
Is
29.
it? No,
it's
it's
29.
29.
It's 29.
Don't get ahead of yourself. No rush to 30.
Uh,
Of the Reckless Musecast. I'm Ben Honor Slapping D'Alessio.
and I'm Joe Spacebar Garza.
Joe Spacebar. That'd be funny if that actually turned into a nickname, like Joe Spacebar. That's a cool ring to it. Like, it reminds me of someone who would be in like what's that band that wears the helmets, the masks? French.
Oh.
Love to get on. We love to get lucky. We still like to get lucky. You know what I'm talking about? The robot guys. Yeah, Daft Punk. Daft Punk.
Oh, Daft Punk. Yeah.
No. Yeah, Joe Spacebar.
Spacebar. Oh. Yeah, that's me, Spacebar Garza.
So we have a couple articles.
Yeah, I was hoping that we could spend a lot of time just talking about that slab. I think it's important. I don't think
there have not been enough takes on that. It was the slab heard around the world.
Yeah.
I really liked. So everyone, of course, now this will be coming out next week. It's March 31st. This will be coming out early next week at some point. So every take has been made, and many of them are phenomenal. We're gonna get to that.
Yeah.
But I loved the. Did you ever see the show The Slap?
No, I didn't.
Okay, it was like I want to say late 2000s, maybe mid 2000s. I'm not positive. Maybe it was later than that. I think Zachary Quinto was in it, and it's like there's I really only know the basics. Basically, there's like some barbecue going on in a backyard, and I think a kid, like a between 8 and 11-year-old kid or something, 7-8-year-old kid, is like being reckless, and he hits someone with a bat, like a grown man who I believe is Zachary Quinto's character, not positive. And Zachary Quinto slaps him across the face, and it's not his kid, like it's someone else's kid,
right?
And then I think the show, I don't think I watched after 1 or 2 episodes, but I think the show like follows everyone's reactions to that and how it affected their relationships, because this is like a suburban town, I believe.
Right.
Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know, but I bring that up to say that like there's a Wikipedia entry that was like, and contrary to rumor, like Chris Rock and Will Smith will not be starring in the new season of The Slap. Like there won't be a spinoff of this. I thought that merited a wiki entry.
That's funny.
It was wild. Were you watching in real time?
I was not
Okay.
Because I was listening. I was doing
anything else.
I was doing something constructive with my life. And then I go back on Twitter, and like I forgot about the Oscars. So I go back on and let's go, oh yeah, sure, I guess the Oscars are. And then I think yours was actually the first tweet that I saw.
Really?
About,
oh, it's seriously.
So sweet. Yeah.
Twitter knows that they have to put each other first. That's how it works. They show you shit of the people you interact with most.
Yeah. So I think yours, and then you just said something like, "Holy shit, did that really happen?" or something like that. I don't know. You said
I think I might have been commenting on like a Bridget Fedesi comment or something.
Yeah.
So I did see it in real time, and it was jarring. So $1 for the jarring jar. Oh, I forgot the Nazi jar. Anyway, it's over there if Nazis come up, which they will. It was very surprising. Everyone knows what happened, so I'll just say, like, Will Smith did laugh at first at the joke.
Yeah.
But you saw like the way the camera angle was, like Will Smith was in the foreground and Jada was in the background, and she was not happy. Like and she gave that look, and Will Smith like completely changed his demeanor, gets up, and you do think he's gonna go up and like do like a fake punch or something, and he winds up. And I thought he punched him. And from the way you hear it, because obviously Chris Rock's wearing a mic, it sounded really like a thud. And the camera kind of like pauses and freezes. And Chris Rock is just like the consummate professional. And he was like, Will Smith just bitch slapped the shit out of me or slapped the shit out of me or something. And he was very rattled. And I still wasn't sure if it was fake. Yeah. But then when he sits down and the volume, it's muted, but you hear what he's saying. Yeah. And he's like, keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth or something like that over and over. And I mean, it was shocking. Yeah. It was shocking. So that is gonna, I mean, we are gonna read this article. I don't think that's gonna do as much to the Oscars as maybe some people are secretly hoping who are right. But my verdict is totally real. I mean, there's a lot of conspiracy theories going on right now with like alopecia and then Pfizer sponsoring it. And I think that's all whatever. Like, I think it was very real, especially when you learn the background of Will Smith and Jada and how he's been like a cuck. And she's like banging young rappers or musicians or whatever they are. Yeah. And I don't know, but I 100%. I mean, I do know. I 100% think this was real. Yeah. And to me, way more shocking than the slap itself. Yeah. Is that Will Smith was not removed. Right. And he won the fucking best actor like 20 minutes later. Yeah. And it felt like a sketch, but it wasn't funny. Yeah. Like a 30 Rock sketch, but it's totally not funny and people don't know how to act. Right. And he's up there and he's talking about like being a vessel for love and God or something. Yeah, and it is just, I mean, talk about, again, and I always bet, like, I think there is a sort of white privilege thing in this country, but not nearly as profound as people make out. But there's absolutely class privilege and famous people privilege. And I mean, wealth privilege and privilege. Like, he fucking assaulted someone on live television. Yeah. And I mean, I'm not saying he should have been arrested or anything. Like the LAPD even put out a statement. Technically, as assault, they wanted to press charges, they could. Yeah. But let's not, like, that doesn't need to happen. But the fact that he remained it's fucking crazy. Yeah. Like, so did you read the statement from the Academy about that? About how they said that they should have handled the situation better? No. So, they just released it, I think, today or maybe yesterday. And they were talking about how, first of all, they acknowledged that they should have handled that situation better. But they said that the staff was sort of scattered around, so they weren't really able to, like, you know, security. Just regular staff. I don't even know what the security detail is like at the Oscars. But like, they didn't. What they claimed was that, you know, they weren't in a position where they could, like, you know, group together, like, okay, here's what we should do. Here's blah, blah, blah. And apparently, so they did send somebody to Will Smith and asked him to leave, and he wouldn't leave. So that's what they like. So, like, what do you? Okay, what if he was just some guy, like a seat filler or something, who was even, like, not even assaulted someone, just like being belligerent? Like, okay, he says he's not leaving, you remove him. Right, exactly. Like, it's crazy, and that just shows again the privilege. And Will Smith obviously is not like a white man, and he got as much privilege as you can possibly get. He wins a fucking award. Like, if you're a child or someone from another planet who doesn't have the context, like, you think he was rewarded for attacking someone. Right. And it's so bizarre. It was so bizarre. So that's obviously part of it. Now, I actually don't think they should take away his Oscar. I don't know if you feel differently. No. I mean, he won it on the merits of his acting. I guess. I mean, I think all those movies. I don't think he was the best, but it's political. I knew he was going to win. Everyone knew he was going to win. He knew he was going to win. So that just shows, why the fuck would you do that? Because now his entire career is marred by that moment. Yeah. So I'm not saying they should have taken that away, but it should have been like, and Will Smith wins the Oscar and someone announces it. They can show the clip from King Richard, show his acting. Like, I think I always defend that on this show, is like separating people's personal lives and what they do off screen to, like, their work. Right. And that's his work, and his work, you know, merited that award. Yeah. But the fact that you have everyone cheering, like, it wasn't even like he was very, but if you didn't have the Chris Rock thing,
Yeah.
and he won the award, like, would you think that anything happened before?
No.
I wouldn't. Like, he was upset. People were cheering him. Like, very bizarre.
Yeah. And then him and his stupid degenerate family went and partied afterwards, and they got jiggy with it and everything. Like, fuck them, man.
The humility. You would think that you would just go home.
Right.
Like, he's out party. I mean, I haven't liked Will Smith in a while. I didn't.
Yeah.
I think they're kind of. I think he's got a lot of shit going on when your wife is fucking other people, like, openly. I think I've heard they have like a podcast and they talk about it.
Like something like that. Yeah. It's, I mean, like the family pisses me off, because then like Jaden tweeted out right when his dad smacked Chris Rock. He's like, "Hey, this is how we do it." It's like, fuck you, dude. And then when his dad wins the Oscar and he gives his long, rambling, stupid speech, he's like, he took a picture of himself and of him crying, and he tweeted out like, "My dad's speech is making me cry."
Yeah. How old's Jaden? He's like,
I don't know. He's like in his early 20s, I think.
He's in like early 20s. All right. I mean, I don't say I give him a pass. Like, obviously that's dumb. You shouldn't tweet that. He's in his early 20s.
Yeah.
I think Will Smith is. I don't like to bring people's kids into shit all the time. Like, I mean, he puts himself out there. Like, he tweeted, he put the picture. So, and he's a famous person. So you know, you're going to be.
He's got a couple of fucked up parents, so it's not really his fault.
Yeah, I guess it's a shitty situation. I think they should have a little more decorum. Like, maybe you shouldn't have a podcast talking about that kind of stuff with your kids being like, also, I mean, just humans. Yeah, I don't know, but that to me was so bizarre. I mean, go handle it backstage, man. I get you want to be a man, like. And you were fucking laughing at first.
Yeah.
He was laughing. He thought it was funny. G.I. Jane joke, which I don't think a lot of people even know what that is.
Yeah.
G.I. Jane, that's like 97 or something.
It's not really regarded as a classic film.
No, it's like a late 90s.
Yeah.
It's I thought, if anything, a much more recent and even race I don't know, the same race reference would have been Black Panther, like the guards in Black Panther, right? Don't they have shaved heads?
Yeah, that's right.
I thought he was going to go somewhere with that, like G.I. Jane for like the late 90s.
Yeah. But the thing that we've really got to talk about, though, is like the stupid, ridiculous takes. So it seems like most people are in agreement that Will Smith, what he did was fucked up. But there have been some really stupid.
Yeah, I think most are, and I do. I think there is a little like, I agree. I think most people are like, that was really fucked up and wrong. First of all, Chris Rock is pretty much universally loved, right? Like, no one really dislikes Chris Rock. At least I don't think so.
No.
Yeah, Chris Rock's pretty
you know what's funny
loved.
though is that like this thing has like united like the ultra far right and the ultra far left on this.
Horseshoe,
it's so
baby.
Weird.
Horseshoe,
exactly.
So like, trad, because you got trad culture.
Yeah,
the right.
trad thing, or like, oh, he's just sticking up for his woman. That's what a man does. And then you got like the far left parts, right? It's like, well, that's black rage, and white people shouldn't comment on it. Like, you know, we're not condoning it, but it's sort of like, it's like, oh, shut up.
Well,
like,
and I from the fucking the right side. Look, I think there's some. I do think there's some good bedrock foundational things from like social conservatism. Sure. I do. In terms of family and people working and keeping parents together. I do think but the trad culture does it kind of ridiculous, and it's like, yeah, but that's still a crime. Like sticking up for your one, like you can handle it in different ways and not be a little bitch about it. Like I get that, but like on like the whole context of it is that's not honor. Like that, and first of all, and you were at the same, like you were laughing first.
Yeah, exactly.
And I can't stand, man. I don't know about you. You grew up in like kind of like, whoa, California, whatever, man. Yeah. And like I grew up in fucking New Jersey, where there's so much of that bullshit. Where it's like you don't even have to say G.I. Jane joke. It's just like, well, you look at me. Well, you want like, or like the fucking shoulder, and some of the girls are fucking vicious. Like the Jersey girls, like, and I hate that shit.
Yeah,
like I hate that shit so much. So I can't stand it. But yes, you're right. And a lot of times there's the horseshoe theory where the far left and the far right do come together and agree on something. I mean, thank God that if Chris Rock was white, this would be like like if a white guy did that joke. It would have been like or just a non-black guy, an Asian guy, or a Latino guy. Like it would have been fucking crazy. Like the takes would have been way different.
It's weird that this incident has nothing to do with race whatsoever. Like if it was two white guys, if it was two white guys or two Asian guys or two women, it's like, I don't care. It's a person making a joke and the other person taking it wrong. But of course, living in the age of rage, we have to make it about race and identity. So there are a smattering of articles. I'll just briefly kind of touch on them. So there's one in Forbes that was talking about how the scandal surrounding the moment is primarily perpetuated by the white gaze. Gaze is G-A-Z-E. G-A-Z-E. Like gaze. Like the white gaze. The white gaze, yeah. There's a segment of the population that believes that although Smith was justified in his anger, he shouldn't have behaved that way in front of mixed company. Many of us are socialized to believe that there is no time and place for black anger or emotion, especially not in front of non-black people. By saying that Will Smith shouldn't have reacted that way because of how he will be perceived by the largely white audience is the perpetuation of the white gaze. Like, what the fuck is that? My God. And that's just published in Forbes.
Yeah, Forbes has taken that turn, right?
Yeah, because I always thought that they were probably like center right, like just kind of like economic business crap.
Yeah, but that doesn't sell like shit like the white gaze. You know, that's same. That's why Business Insider changed to just Insider. Yeah. Because they're making take quakes all over the racial spectrum.
There's another. This is also in Forbes. They published another article saying this one's titled, "While talking about Will Smith's behavior, don't forget to also talk about the system that helped create it." I don't need to summarize.
That's just a catch-all. Like that happens. Exactly. I'm sorry. Like yes, you can always say that. It's like, well, here's an armed robbery where the Pakistani clerk got shot in the head. Well, let's analyze the system that created that. Well, yeah, sure, but maybe not when the guy's still like fucking bleeding out on the linoleum. And they're different conversations. And maybe we should talk about how that guy should have not had bail reform. Like what about that system? Maybe he should have been in prison because he tried to kill his wife. You know, like so we can always have that conversation, however you want to slice it. But yes, that's just a catch-all, and it's very common because it's going to get clicks, like we're doing right now.
This is exactly. This is from the Hollywood Reporter. Behind Will Smith's slap, black pain, and enough blame to go around. The foolishness and violence of the Oscar Winners Act, and of Chris Rock's cruel joke were undeniable, but the broader context and roots of such behavior merit reflection. No, they don't.
No, they don't. This guy, his wife is banging other people. He's pent up and angry, and he's trying to win her back and show her that he's a man. Which I'm sorry, that's like thousands of fucking years of evolution, right? Like thousands of fucking years where, and he's supposed to control that because we live in a civilized society. We're not cavemen anymore. Again, doesn't mean you don't get mad. But you don't handle it that way. And the response to what I'm saying is, well, you don't know the black experience and the black pain and all that. It's like, okay, but no, that's not how society can function. You can't function that way.
Right. And like, it's not, you know, like you're pointing out, like, this is not like, I mean, like so many guys do this shit of like snapping and like overreacting. So it's like, I don't see why it's like that you need to make the connection to like, it's about blackness and about black rage.
Well, no, those are terrible takes, obviously. And it's easy. It's easy to write that. I think some of the others that I think like Jamal Bowman, who I believe is a congressman from New York, Democrat congressman from New York. He tweeted like immediately afterward, these fucking people is like, this is why you don't comment on black women's hair. Because that's the thing, like that. There's that angle to it, where, but Chris Rock is, I mean, he's black. He's black, but I don't know. Even if he wasn't, you don't get to just go assault someone, not face any repercussions for it, and then win an award and get cheered on. Like it's so bizarre, and this is why people hate Hollywood. Like it's a perfect example of because they get away with everything. They get away with literal like crimes, and these are the people, of course, who ran interference for Harvey Weinstein for like 20 fucking years or whatever it is.
Real quick, I found the Guardian article. White outrage about Will Smith's slap is rooted in anti-blackness. It's inequality in plain sight. a black man making a joke about a black woman in front of her black husband, and it's still about anti-blackness. It's like,
Yeah. Well, it's the logic Olympics.
oh man,
It's just like a jump to conclusions board.
Yeah.
It's like a social justice. Well, it's a social justice bingo card.
Yeah.
So do you want to talk about, are the Oscars over?
Yes. So speaking of the Oscars,
so this was written before this Oscars. This was March 22nd, 2022 by Scott Johnson. Well, so what was this in again?
LA Mag.
I printed this like an idiot, and so there's like the cookies little paragraph at the top, and I thought that'd just be at the top, like, do you accept the cookies or whatever?
Oh,
at the first page.
Yeah.
And I don't like reading on my computer, so it's on every page, so some of it gets cut off. But this is LA Mag.
Yeah.
Is LA Mag not just like a crit trash rag?
It's pretty woke, from what I can tell.
This is not at all.
Yeah, surpringly.
This is like
there's still a good amount of pro diversity, inclusion, equity stuff in Los Angeles Magazine.
DIE. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I really like this. I did hear about was it Aperture 2025?
Yeah.
Aperture 2025. Do you want to sum it up, like what the substance of it is? Not the article. I just mean like what that is.
Yeah. So it's this new initiative that that's going to be implemented in future Academy Awards starting in 2024. And basically it's says that producers will be required to submit a summation of the race, gender, sexual orientation, and disability status of members of their movie's cast and crew. If a particular movie does not have enough people of color or disabled people or gays or lesbians working on the set, and what is enough will be determined by a knotty tangle of Byzantine formularies, then that movie will no longer be eligible for an Oscar. It's so blatantly anti-art. It's saying that we care about the identity more than the end result.
And the second paragraph of this does say that, where I just circled right now, anti-creative. So it's not universally applauded in Hollywood, unsurprisingly, they say. Critics say it's invasive, true, anti-creative, and opens the door to privacy issues. And it's spectacularly unfair to actors and crew members who may want to keep their sexual orientation or health profiles to themselves. Go fucking figure. Not everyone, the world isn't Twitter, or Tumblr or whatever. Like people, sometimes there's some fucking discretion. Maybe people, even with the victimization pyramid that we have, some people just want to keep things to themselves. It's not your fucking business, and it shouldn't affect. Just like you can't ask someone during a job interview, what's your religion? Are you married? I don't think you can ask that. What's your race? Right. And especially things like disabilities, and what's your sexual preference? Could you imagine?
Yeah.
And you're right. This is insane. I'll make a declaration right here. If this does get implemented, I'm gonna stop watching the Oscars. Say I'm done at that point. I don't give a shit anymore, because I won't feel like, and they address this in here too, I won't feel like necessarily the best movies and performances and effects and all of that are being put up to a vote. And they say that in here. And there might be, someone wins the award, it'll be like, well, how did they get this? What's their thing? What movie? And they start thinking, well, that was a white guy, that was a white guy, that was a black woman. So there's like, oh, that person's gay, but they're playing a straight character. And then it's like, it should just be celebrating art and achievement. And that's all going to be pushed to the side.
And also like they're not even being transparent about it either. Which I mean, like it's a stupid policy no matter what. But the fact that they're not, they haven't revealed like what's considered enough diversity on a particular film. And real quick, I just want to say like I'm sure that this is going to be a very time consuming and expensive initiative. That money can be going towards arts programs in underprivileged communities to help young people get into the film industry.
So what I was going to say is, and you would know this better than I would, like directors and the crews, like they have so much shit to work on already. Like they have so many things to worry about. That this is one more thing. Now I have to start. I can't just hire the best guy with a boom mic. Who can hold a boom mic. I have to know like who he's attracted to, what he identifies as, what are his pronouns. Like that. This doesn't. This is one more thing that I forget who said it. It might have been Seth Rogen, who I don't like. I can't stand his social media and personality. But he said a while ago, like it's a miracle that any movie gets made.
Yes.
Just everything that has to go into it. And you've made like short films, right? And like every step, it is so much. And they're just adding this that I can't. Correct me if you can think of a better example. What is a more diverse place than like Hollywood movie making? Yeah. Like what voice? I mean, in terms of the stories that are being told now, the actors, the openness, the angles of, it's not just like, oh, there's a gay character. Now there's because there's not like the stereotypical gay character. Let's say that was a thing for a while. Now it's like multifaceted, and they're showing, how people's views change on like abortion. Like sometimes it's handled in a much more casual way. Sometimes it's much more serious. So you have so much diversity already. Like this is one of the most diverse liberal industries there are. Maybe the only place where there's more diversity would be like a liberal arts college or something, in Oregon. But
I swear, man, if I ever like, get a chance to work on a movie and I have to fill out like all these dumb identity things, like I'm just gonna like make it up. So it's like, oh, what's your ethnicity? Wakanda. And then, oh, like what's your sexual preference? Patio furniture, just put stupid shit.
It's just it feels so. It's like the last industry that needs this.
I know. Yeah.
I mean, if anything, I kind of understood the Academy diversifying, like the Academy itself diversifying, but it's almost like they're passing the buck. It's like, no, you guys be more diverse. It's like, whoa. Like, we want you to be more diverse. You're just a bunch of old white guys, which I don't know if that's the case anymore. And the Academy is much larger than I thought. It's not like it's 400 people. It's they have the number in here. I think it's close to 10,000. Yeah, like, and that's become more diverse. Right. And it just seems so unnecessary. Right. And it's not. And then the argument's always like, well, what's the problem with diversity? It's like, well, there are a lot. It's not just that's again a false equivalent. Excuse me, like a non sequitur. It's privacy issues. Yeah.
The lack of transparency.
Lack of transparency. Yeah. What do they list here? And it's anti-creative. It's invasive. Oh. Like those are problems.
Right.
Maybe
it's ridiculous. It reminds me a little bit of like during COVID, film productions, like they had to create new jobs just for like the COVID hall monitor. Like a guy walks around like, oh, you're not 6 feet apart. And it's like now like are you gonna have like create new positions where it's like, oh, you got to walk around the clipboard. What's your race?
No,
what's your sexuality? Like
that's not a joke. That's like actually. I mean, Joe, there's a name for this. They're called DEI coordinators. Yeah. And colleges are hired. I mean, it has to be the fastest growing profession. I'm not even kidding. Like universities are hiring several of them. Yeah. And they're making hundreds departments. They're making hundreds of thousands of dollars. And then it's like, well, why is tuition so high? Well, I fucking wonder why. Yeah. Like, and here's a good, so when you're saying someone have to walk around with a clipboard, like probably more like a tablet, but yes, that is actually going to be a very lucrative profession. Yeah, I don't have kids, but I'd say, hey, go into that. You'll get a job when you graduate. So here's a good example. And it's, there are also logistical complexities. People say, well, race is a construct. And sometimes, I agree in a way. So what is Native American? How much Native American ancestry is Elizabeth Warren Native American? Would she count? Would she check that box? Because you say you are. Do you have to prove it? I honestly believe, and I'm pretty sure I've said this before. If I haven't, I honestly believe that eventually, just like the COVID vaccine passport, we are going to need to have our DNA makeup like accessible. Yeah. Like I have mine, 23andMe. I did it. I shouldn't have because now the government has all my information, but I did it because I'm really interested in that stuff. And I swear to fucking God, they're going to start checking this. So if you put Native American on a college application or because you want to be an actor or whatever, you want to star in a movie, like then you have to prove it.
Right.
Because I'm not joking. Like I'm not being facetious. I truly believe this.
Yeah.
Because of stuff like if you're going to start having standards, then what counts as what? And eventually it's going to get to the point where it's like, well, more. I mean, almost all Black people in the United States are actually mixed. Like that's our unfortunate history.
Right.
Like so do you have more? And same with white people too. Like I remember there was that show where that white supremacist guy went on. He was that guy in that documentary. He like started some white supremacist thing in some town in South Dakota. They kind of like took over, and he went on one of those as a British version of like a Maury Povich type thing.
Okay.
And they had his DNA sampling, and he had like, I don't know, 12% African or something like that. Right? He's a white supremacist. So like fuck him. But like I swear that's what we're gonna have to do. So anyway, getting back to this, it says logistical complexities involved in Aperture and an initiative may well embroil the Academy in some troubling controversies ahead. Just how much Native American ancestry does a Native American actor need to count towards movie quotas? Are Jews a marginalized or ethnic group? Not going to touch that one. What qualifies as a disability? Like I'm sorry, I get kind of fucking offended when I hear people talk about like all these disabilities, like anxiety or something. Yeah, anxiety sucks. Yeah. It's not autism.
Right.
Like it's not born with a deformity. It's not you know, a lot of these really horrible things that people have to deal with, and they get the same kind of box. If this was 20, so is this an effect of the Great Awakening? Like, wasn't this like this whole thing? Wasn't this started summer 2020? Like them talking about it?
Yeah, I think even a little before that, actually.
Was it even before that?
Yeah. I because I remember there was the Oscars So White controversy.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then not long after that, there were talks of because I remember writing an article about the Oscars about some stupid initiative that they were implementing at the time a few years ago, but I can't remember what it was. It escapes me right now. But it was related to like increasing diversity and representation and all that.
Yeah, but that's different. I feel like, I mean, they've been saying that, but I feel like this is fairly, like, it's not as specific yet, like you said, but this is, I mean, they have a date, they have these kind of broad guidelines. Like, I think this came out of the Great Awakening. And the reason why I'm saying, like, I'm kind of having a, well, I'll believe it when I see it type thing. So I think the pendulum is swinging the other way towards a lot of this crazy shit.
Yeah.
And I think when things like this article, which I didn't even think about, the legal implications of this, like you're dealing with like intimate data, HIPAA issues, like medical issues, like I think they might walk it back.
Yeah,
I think they might. Yeah, that's why I'm saying, like, I'll believe it when I see it.
Does that mean like I can't work on a set if I don't, reveal my race, my gender, my sexuality?
Right. There's definitely going to be some like civil liberties issue. There's going to be labor issues. I think this was short-sighted. It was to virtue signal during the Great Awakening. And I think this is the last thing that the movie industry fucking needs. Yeah. Like, and that's the point of this article. The Oscars dead. Like, they're saying this could be the death knell because one, they've shed 50%, no, like 75% of when they peaked in like the 90s and 2000s in viewership. And I think this year's was higher than last year's, and last year's was horrible. It was the COVID year. The movies weren't as, like, I liked some of them, but in terms of like popular culture, they weren't as big. And like the ceremony was really dumb and weird. This one, I think the viewership was up, and that included this viral moment slap, which I don't know how you count that. Like, how do you count the last 40 minutes after the slap, or do you count in the beginning? Like, like if that's the case, well, that's not really a good barometer either. Right. Because this viral moment isn't going to happen every year. And even if it does, and people are going to start questioning, are you just doing this for ratings? In which case, like, no one's going to sit in for a 3-hour thing to maybe get a viral moment. They're just going to wait till it appears on Twitter. Yeah. Like, and you can watch it and discuss it. And that's what people come for, is the takes. Like, especially when I saw it live, I didn't know what happened right away because it was jumbled. It was split. Like, it was kind of, it was confusing. So That's another reason why I don't know why people are saying that it was staged, because they wouldn't have done that. Why would they want it? Why would they adulterate it in any way or whatever?
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of the gist of this. I think it's fucking stupid, and I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think this is gonna happen.
Okay.
They'll say like, we've made such strides. Then you said this is starting 2024, so movies for the assuming they go back to a regular schedule, which is always February.
Yeah.
So February 2025 Oscars. So that's the year of 2024. Is that what you're saying?
I'm not sure. It just says starting in 2024, producers will be required. Oh, so it's in 2024. So that's when they have to start submitting all the data of the cast and crew.
Right. So that means, it's for the 2025 Oscars. I mean, that is only a year. So it's not this next movie cycle year. Or no, it's 2 years. It's two Oscars.
Yeah.
3 Oscars away.
Yeah,
because it'll be the 2023 Oscars. So 3. I don't think they're gonna go through with this.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna scratch it, and they'll say we've made such strides, we're so diverse, all this, and I think they'll say like this wasn't necessary because we've done such a great job, right? They'll find a way to compliment themselves.
Yeah, I'm just flabbergasted that they think that the color of your skin factors into how good of an actor you are, or how good of a writer you are, or how good of a it's that's insane, man. I mean, like, so that's the thing about earlier when you brought up like when people say, oh, what's wrong with diversity? It's like, well, I mean, if it occurs organically, then there's nothing wrong with it at all. But it's when it's being forced at gunpoint,
and it's more appreciated when it's organic. Like, exactly, it's way more appreciated. It's appreciated by, I think, like the diverse people too. Like how many times you hear let's say like a black man say like, they'll be asked the question. I was just watching. I mean, this is very old. I love this. I kind of watch it every year before the tournament. Or the Big East. I'm a big Big East basketball fan. Love Big East basketball. I'm a Seton Hall Pirates fan, and I watched this documentary called Requiem for the Big East. It's about the Big East Conference, right? The old one. And John Thompson was the coach for Georgetown. He was this like 6'10" imposing black guy. Great coach, legendary coach. And I remember he was asked, like, how's it feel to be the winner of the, the first black man to win, and first black coach to win the Big East tournament or something like that. And he was like, I don't want to be considered the first black anything. I want to be considered the best coach. And that was in like the early 80s. So like they've been hearing this shit. Like they don't want, I don't want to speak for them, but you hear it a lot. It's like, no, I want to be the best actor. I want to be the best director. I want to be like, a lot of this shit is pandering and it's infantilizing. And I think it's just, if you base it on its merits, you're going to naturally be diverse because there's a lot of fucking talented people.
Yes.
And I think we're at the point in Hollywood, like, you're getting opportunity. Like there is opportunity. I don't think that's the problem in these movies. Opportunities for stories. I don't know what stories are not being told. Right. I can't imagine everything is being told. That's a good thing. Yeah. So just let it happen. Just like culture, do it.
Right. That's the thing. It's this is something that I think should be handled at the front end, where it's like we need to cast a wider net in our search for talent. And we're not going to count race or gender or sexuality. We just want people, like, I don't care if you're from Zimbabwe or Taiwan or Brazil or Kentucky. Like if you're a great actor or a great writer or a great director, then you deserve a chance. But all you have to do is go, oh, I'm feeling non-binary today, so yeah, I'm gonna put that there, and hopefully that'll boost my chances of getting nominated. Like,
well, you'll be fine. You can just say you're Mexican.
Latinx, actually, I'm gonna go.
Right, exactly. No, please, if this ever happened, please put Mexican X. with the E cross, so it's MXXICANX. Mixexan X. And they'll love to be like, oh my god, what is this? We're going to be the first one to have a Mixexan X screenwriter. Anyway, I'm looking at the numbers here just to declare. So the 2000s, so it peaked in the 90s with 55 million. the 2020 February 2020, that was I liked that was one where Bong Joon-ho kind of ran away with it, and Parasite, I should say.
Yeah.
That had 23.6, and I think the year after that had like half of that, or less than half of that.
Yeah.
I think there's a little bump this year, but I don't see this. I don't see this going back up even close to.
No.
I mean, not even close to any of this, any of the even 23.6. Yeah, I don't think this is going back to, I should say, the 2019 Oscars for the 2019 movie year Oscars.
Yeah.
There's other things in here. I want to say, as someone who did watch it live, they've got to cut. We don't need music, as in like performances.
Right,
we don't need Billie Eilish singing.
Yeah.
I get it. That maybe they want to see it, but if you want this yourself, like there's too much music going on, too many other things going on. I would even cut some of the. I mean, they went back with the host, but they had 3 hosts who, like, Wanda Sykes, is that who people are clamoring for now? Yeah. Amy Schumer, I think, had a couple good lines, and that's it. And then she was super awkward. And Jesse Plemons, did you see the Jesse Plemons thing?
No, I didn't.
I thought he was going to bitch slap Amy Schumer.
Really?
This is after, well, so she sits down at his cocktail table and kicks out Kirsten Dunst, who's his wife, who co-starred with him on Power of the Dog, and she's like shitting on Kirsten Dunst, like basically calling her not an actor, like who is that or something like that, and he's like, that's my wife. Yeah. And it's like, lady, read the fucking room, like it's tense right now. Jesse Plemons is gonna knock your face off. Yeah, obviously not, 'cause he's a good guy, I guess. I don't know him. I don't know personally, but he seems like a good guy. I like him a lot as an actor. And then I always forget the other woman's name. I like her. I mean, I know her from Scary Movie. I think she's pretty funny. But there were some, I mean, things that I don't care. I'm not one of these people like, oh, well, if a guy did that, but she was basically just going on. She was doing a bit about how she's single and horny. And she was just like, I need, for like COVID checks, I need Timothée Chalamet and Bradley Cooper and Tyler Perry, like basically just picking good looking guys to come up. Yeah. And she like literally fondled them. Oh. Like she kind of like strips her, like, you know, patted them down. Yeah. Which it's a funny bit. Like I get it, but you know, I don't know. You guys have kind of had a whole sex assault thing going on for a while. Yeah. The Me Too thing. Maybe don't just objectify all the hot guys. Yeah. I don't know. Like I don't think it's a big deal. I get it. Like, I'm not one of those guys. Sure. Does that's one of those things where I don't think there's a double standard. It doesn't fucking matter. But maybe leave that one out. Right. It does kind of tarnish. Yeah. It does. Yeah. It wasn't very funny. And but they have to cut some stuff. And also, I heard it was nice seeing Samuel L. Jackson, Mr. Snakes on a Plane Man, get an Oscar for Snakes on a Plane, right? He got like an achievement, right? Achievement award, I think. That was also he was for Snakes on a Plane. Snakes on a Plane, yeah, his most well-known work. Well, he was also there for Pulp Fiction. That was so weird. They had this whole weird thing where they were just like picking movies and being like the 17th anniversary. It's like, what does that have to do? And there was a bit of just finding excuses to get people together, like Pulp Fiction's year, whatever year it was. I mean, that came out in like 95, so that's not like the 30th anniversary or something. Right. It's just a random year, but just to get like Travolta, Samuel L. Jackson, and Uma Thurman together on stage, I don't know. Like it's like you can cut that shit. Right. Maybe if there's maybe The Godfather. I think The Godfather did have a big year, like 72, maybe. So it was like, would that be 50 years? Yeah. That's different. But they did that for like 4 or 5 movies that were just okay. Like, what is this? What? And then I won't go into everything. That all my thoughts on it, but they have to cut that shit out if you want to just based on attention span alone. Right. And because remember, people can literally put on anything else, any streaming service, any other event. And last thing I'll say is like some of that, I think there was a little bit less of the kind of crit bullshit. Yeah. But and I love Jessica Chastain's performance. Mm-hmm. I think she deservedly won leading actress for Eyes of Tammy Faye. But honestly, when her acceptance speech sounded like someone like she was just going through the Rolodex of social justice things to say. Yeah. It didn't sound human. It didn't sound like a person. it just sounded like, oh, well, I have to say that you're not alone. I have to say that women can accomplish things. I have to say like social justice, this and minority. Like it didn't sound coherent. And I feel like they get up there and just like, oh, I have to say like all of the right things.
Yeah.
No, just thank who helped you, your inspiration, and that's it. Say hi to your kids. Like that's it. Like you don't have like no one is coming to Jessica Chastain to solve like the shootings in Southside Chicago.
Yeah.
Just you're a fucking actress. So anyway,
it reminds me of from a few years ago when Jennifer Lawrence was being interviewed about climate change, and she just gave like this really fumbly answer. She's well, you know, we have responsibility to, you know, the planet. It's changing, so we have to. It's our duty to change to fix things for the better. And then, like it was so much like from Team America, like just like sort of Matt Damon sort of like type of.
I mean, to be honest, she's not much better than like our elected officials. Like AOC gives the same kind of answers. Like she doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about. Why is Israel bad? Well, I could give you a bunch of reasons why they're bad, but you're a fucking elected official who has like stances on this shit. You should be able to articulate it. But yeah, I always loved. My favorite was, not to get too far off topic, but would be like Miss America. And it's like like what's an exit strategy for Afghanistan? It's like, what the fuck would she do? Like, why are we asking her that? Unless she has a background in it, which she very well might, but she doesn't. Like stick if they have a background in geopolitics or science or chemistry, whatever. Then ask them questions about it. That's great, but don't just put some girl up there from South Carolina who's pretty and ask her what the exit strategy is for Afghanistan.
Yeah, man, it's I mean, like, you know, the Team America thing is so accurate, where it's like, you know, it's our duty to read newspapers and then act like, you know, it's our own it's our own opinions. Except they're not even reading the actual full article. They're just skimming headlines, really. But
SNL did kind of do a funny skit about that a while ago with Louis C.K. where it was like he like liked or retweeted something, and they like did a whole like people came out from everywhere, like applauded him, and they said how great he was and all of that. It's like a guy sitting on his couch, like, oh yeah, Washington Post retweet. And it's like it's like how you feel after that. I think we've all been there, but
it's funny that you know, if celebrities just said dumb shit, like not political shit, just like dumb arrogant shit, like I would like them more. Like I think general audiences would like them more. They'd be like, yeah, he's an idiot, but you know, he's rich, so maybe, you know, whatever.
I like the ones I like when they're almost too like in the article they give the Marlon Brando example. Where he won an Academy Award, and Marlon Brando was really big into like Native American rights. And he sent like a Native American activist who I don't think she even accepted it. I think she rejected it in person for him, I believe. Like that, I'm more into that kind of stuff, because at least you're then like kind of putting your money where your mouth is. Right. Which I respect a lot more, even if I don't agree. I don't know. I love Marlon Brando as an actor. But I don't know his like exact stances on any of the political issues, but I know he was considered very progressive for the time. So like whatever his stance is, like I respect that a lot more than showing up, doing the whole song and dance, getting the award, rubbing elbows with everyone, and then basically telling middle America and everyone else, I'm just middle America, but telling everyone like what you should do and what's important. And while you're, you know, holding your 13.5-inch you know, trophy, and then you're going to go party and drink the most expensive champagne. And speaking of which, did you see what they their goodie bags or whatever included?
Nuh-uh.
Oh my god, it is fucking wild. I don't have it with me, so I don't really want to go into it because I'm going to misquote it, but like hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of shit.
Damn.
Like $1,000 retreats and stays in castles in Scotland. And
Jesus Christ, man.
Like, and it's like you wonder why people fucking hate you. You wonder why like no one wants to see this shit.
Right.
It's not enough for you to just get to go to this thing. You get paid when you leave with treats. Yeah,
that's insane, man.
I'm also very jealous. I mean, I want that.
I know. I was gonna say, like, if I was there. Like, of course, I would accept it. Like, I'm not gonna like turn it down.
Am I narcissistic enough to have gone over my acceptance speech in the shower the other night?
On the toilet?
Maybe.
Yeah, I do it every day.
Maybe I did. It's going to stay between me and myself, but maybe I did have my acceptance speech, and maybe it was amazing, but and very short.
Hey, you've seen those Between Two Ferns things with Zach Galifianakis?
Yeah, I've seen a bunch. They're great.
Did you see the Oscar one where he has a whole bunch of people who were nominated for Oscars that year? This is a few years ago, and Bradley Cooper comes on, and so like whenever Bradley Cooper goes on, there's there's just like so much content, and obviously it's all fake, but like they're both in the Hangover movies.
Hangover,
But it's just Zach Galifianakis just being like all uptight because Bradley Cooper's handsome and successful and this and that, and and so he's like, oh, by the way, I wrote a speech for the Oscars, and he goes, yeah, I want to see it. And he goes, oh, sure, yeah, thanks, man, that's awesome, thank you. So he reads the speech and he goes, it's basically just like, I'm sorry that I lost. I'm a terrible actor. Who cares about me because I suck. Goodbye. And then Zach just he takes the note and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna touch it up. He's like, yeah, but he's like, dude, I was like, you don't give a speech when you lose. And he goes, well, you should.
I love the one where it's Steve Carell and Steve Carell's a big nose. He's calling face. I'm not that fat. I'm not that fat. And then he goes to sit down and like eats shit and falls backwards. And he goes, I'm not that fat.
I'm not that fat. And he sits down and the chair breaks.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Or what's the one? Someone's there and they're just like, there's like texting and he's just sitting there. I forget who it is, but someone's just sitting there like texting and he's just like looking around like, what do I do? I don't know. This isn't good radio.
Oh, that Carrot Top? Carrot Top's in the background and he's
No. He's just sitting there with them.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not sure which episode that was.
Should we move on to
that other thing?
That other thing.
Yeah.
More in our sorry, I'm a sleepy boy. More in our wheelhouse here, I guess.
Yeah.
So I found this article, or I heard about it. This is March 21st from the New York Times. The headline by Mark Tracy. The headline is Lauren Hough, I think that's how you pronounce it, loses Lambda Prize nomination after a Twitter feud. So her essay collection was removed from contention in the category of Best Lesbian Memoir after she went on Twitter to defend, I swear if I can't make this shit up, forthcoming Sandra Newman novel from charges that it was transphobic. And
Best Lesbian Memoir. that's a category.
How are there that many just lesbian memoirs? Again, like what is it?
Best Latinx poetry collection.
Yeah. And hey, this is their thing. That's great.
Yeah.
I just don't know why it needs to be lesbian memoir, but this is like an LGBT award.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's like by a lesbian or I guess if it's a memoir. All right, whatever. It's not important. It's fine. I have no issues with that.
Yeah.
Just the whole sentence that is removed from that category. Anyway. So basically, she is a first-time author, and she received the incredible news that her essay collection was being published and to be nominated for this big award. So it's a big deal. Basically, she tweets, which is always a mistake, that... and again, so I want to be clear, this has nothing to do with her work. Like, it has nothing to do with the merits of her essay collection. She kind of in a milquetoast way comes to the defense of a different writer named Sandra Newman, who wrote a novel that has been criticized as being transphobic. As we all know, the criticism and or charges are enough in this because this is not a court of law. This is the court of
public opinion,
not even, it's just psychotic activists, which is even a lower bar for them to convict you. This is a novel called The Men. Bad start. Which is the scenario. All people with a Y chromosome mysteriously disappear from the face of the earth. Okay, so what happened was Hough, who did read the book, good start, wrote that the critics should, and here's this firestorm of a defense, get ready, to read the book before condemning it.
What?
I mean, these incested their ancestors there. She's offended their ancestors there. By just saying maybe read the thing before criticizing it, which is hard to do because that takes time and effort. So because of that, Hough was removed from contention for her award. Again, not for anything that she wrote in her work, but for something she wrote on Twitter. That's really it. Besides the firestorm that ensues, which we've all seen, she gets called. Well, basically so what is the award? What do they say? The Lambda Literary, whatever, says the strength of Lambda Literary and the LGBTQ movement at large, I think they're missing some letters there, was in convincing people to look beyond the cover and read the title, even if that title includes a Y chromosome. We asked them, oh wait, no, that's not. No, that's what Ho said. Excuse me. Sorry. They said, as an LGBTQ organization, we cannot knowingly reward individuals who exhibit disdain and disrespect for the autonomy of an entire segment of the community we have committed ourselves to supporting. The word, she said, just maybe read the book before criticizing it.
Right.
Not even you can't criticize this, not even you shouldn't criticize it, but simply just read the book, and that exhibits disdain and disrespect for the autonomy. Well, what does that mean?
Well, here's the thing, and I'm not defending the lambdas, whatever they are, but it looks like it was a series of tweets. Like it was like a heated. It wasn't just that one tweet that got her in trouble. It seemed like she got into like a heated argument on Twitter. So I don't know exactly what she said. But here's the thing: even if she did, because look, we've all gotten into stupid arguments on Twitter. Like if you're on Twitter, if you check Twitter more than once a day, you've been an asshole on Twitter at some point. That alone should not disqualify you from being considered for a major award. So that's stupid. And the statement just before that one. So this is from the organization. In a series of now deleted tweets, Lauren Hough exhibited what we believe to be a troubling hostility toward transgender critics and trans allies, and used her substantial platform, due in part to her excellent book, to harmfully engage with readers and critics. So here's the thing: they didn't share what tweets got her removed from consideration. So it's like they say, oh, look here, she calls somebody a slur, she calls this blah blah blah. Which again, I don't think that would be enough to be like, yeah, we can't consider it. But at least I could be like, okay, I can understand why they'd be bothered by her tweets. But they didn't even do that. Of course they don't. And also the fact that she troubling hostility towards transgender critics and used her substantial platform. So that's this thing where it's like if you have if you have any kind of large standing, then in the minds of woke people, that automatically comes with the responsibility of you have to be an activist and you have to.
She's a first-time author. Yeah. What's her substantial platform?
I don't know, maybe substantial in the category of lesbian memoirs, but
literally the first sentence is last month Lauren Hough, a first-time author. I don't think she has a substantial platform. Even
right.
Even
if she did, should she have the? Does it automatically come with the responsibility of well, you have to use your platform for good. You have to care about social justice. I think that's stupid. Yeah, exactly. No, it's dumb.
Of course not. Yeah. Well, absolutely not. But with this, I don't understand that because I don't think she has a substantial platform. And I think people, critics, what's tough is one, you have to defend what actually happened, right? And your actual stances and words and stuff like that. And then you just have to defend made up shit like that. I think that's an example where they'll just make shit up and then you're defending something that didn't even happen.
Right.
Of course, one of my favorite terms that's come out of all this craziness was used here, a TERF, trans exclusionary radical feminist. Dinner party TERF is one of my favorite terms. I think it's hysterical. Yeah. And that's really it. And I forgot to say Lauren Hough is our Robespierre of the week.
Yes.
Because I guarantee you she was, I don't know, I shouldn't say, but I'm going to assume that she was not some right-wing Republican lesbian memoir collectivist.
Right.
I'm assuming she was very progressive on her politics. I would think so. So taking that as fact, they come for you, right?
Yeah.
She could be right. She could have been right on everything. She could have been at every march, supported every cause, donated every cause, been at every environmentalist thing, pussy hat wearing, Black Lives Matter, fist raising. But the second you step out of line and you portray a position that is not, part of the, I don't want to say mainstream, but their mainstream, the activist mainstream, you're out. And her quote is, they call it call out culture. She wrote on Substack, because bullying is wrong unless your target is someone you don't like, for social justice reasons, of course. So she's coming to the realization that there's kind of a double standard. Thank you. Yeah. Welcome to the gang, Lauren.
Right.
We welcome you with open arms.
This also reminds me a little bit of how, like, the progressive feminist movement is like colliding with like the radical trans movements, where it's like you would think that they'd be all kind of like helping, because like
no, not at all.
So the book that the Men, in which all people with the Y chromosome mysteriously disappear from the face of the earth. The reason why this bothered the more trans activist types on Twitter was because there are trans women who have a Y chromosome, so that's why they can. So does that mean all trans women are
sure
eliminated as well? But it's sort of like, but again, like, read the book. Like, what's it
actually
about?
Is that why, or is it because they didn't she didn't even take that into account, the writer?
I think that's what it was. Where like she just didn't
have
take that into
erased
account.
Other books that start from this premise, all the men disappear, have erased the existence of trans people, and it was important to her not to do that, to be as sensitive as possible. I don't know. I didn't read this book. I'm not going to read this book.
Yeah.
I don't know. But
are you sure it's written for us, though?
It's written for the men. I don't know. I thought it was because you're right. Yeah. So if everyone with the Y chromosome disappears, then that means trans women who are women. I'm not going to comment on that.
No.
Would also disappear, in which case making them men, because the story about men disappear, right? Is that?
Yeah. No.
I see. Right. Yeah. Well, that's the story that she wrote. Oh. And if this ever happened, wouldn't that be kind of the science within the story? If whatever causes everyone with the Y chromosome disappear, then yes, trans women would disappear.
Right.
And that's just the science within the story.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right. And again, like this is, we've talked about this so many times, but like when, like when you are the creator of something, like just go out and create, like, don't worry too much. But like obviously, like you should strive for authenticity and accuracy when it's relevant, but at the same time, it's fiction. If I don't know, it's just so dumb. Like when intersectionality starts getting into art, and it's like, oh great, well I have to change this because it'll be offensive to that group, and I can't. But then because it'll offend that group, and it's sort of like
So I don't know how old this book is. They said that when it was written, this wasn't like really in the discourse. Yeah. So which is a shame, because that shows this book wouldn't exist if it was written now. Right. I don't know how old it is, but it says it was written. Previous books with similar gender eliminating or separating scenarios were written before there was much attention on anything beyond a gender binary. So I don't know. Do you want to look up when this book was from?
It has not come out yet.
Oh, The Men hasn't come out yet?
No, it comes out May 31st.
So it is a new book.
Yeah.
Is it? Who published it?
I'm not sure. The Grove Atlantic.
Was it the Grove?
No, this is just an article about the Men.
Well, I'm surprised. I'm even surprised it's being published.
Yeah,
to be honest.
Yeah,
because this is probably the most vicious activist group is this one that I feel like has the most sway and literally canceling things.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised that it's being published. But if
Yeah.
it's like any sort of publisher outside of her just publishing it herself,
Yeah.
so I guess that's good
Yeah.
because we want books to be published.
Yes, we
and
do.
then those books can be criticized or lauded or both, and that's okay.
Yep.
What we fear, I am going to speak for you.
Yep.
As your attorney, I'm going to speak for you.
Thank you.
And we do fear books not being published, movies not being made, songs not being performed and written and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's good. Maybe I will buy the book just to support her.
Yeah.
I don't know if I had an exception and all the men disappeared.
No.
Not the worst thing. I won't have to deal with you anymore. I won't have to put up with your shit anymore. But I have, as my parents tell me, I'm not the exception to the rule. All right. Anything else you want to talk about? It's always good to end with trans activism.
Yeah, I think that's a very good. Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to stay reckless then?
Yeah, I think I'll be reckless for at least until next week. So.
As do me.
Yeah. All right, man.
All right.
Bye, everyone.
Fight the crits, everyone.